Hey, e-commerce marketing podcast listener. Are you looking to increase traffic and sales to your website? You can do this by launching your own affiliate program. Just visit getosi.com and sign up for a free trial today. That's getosi.com. Welcome back to the e-commerce marketing podcast, everyone. I am your host, Arlen Robinson, and today we have a very special guest, Ash Omi, who is an enlightened entrepreneur and founder of the creative e-commerce agency Digital Develop, which helps e-commerce businesses increase conversions using beautiful solutions. Welcome to the podcast, Ash. How's it going?
Hi, Arlen.
All right.
Everything is going good.
Okay.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot. I know we've been trying to connect for a little while now. We're glad to finally get you onto the podcast. And
likewise.
Yeah, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about branding and marketing, which is, your expertise. But, before we get into that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about your background and how you got started and how you got into what you're doing today?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I am a UX designer and front-end developer. I used to create conversion-driven design for our clients. But all of a sudden, I felt that our clients need something else, like they need a proper strategy to scale their business. Then I have started this agency to help our clients and our potentials. So this way I entered into this field. Okay. And I am working in this field for last 4 years.
Okay. That's awesome. And so what made you decide to start your own agency?
Actually, I was getting a lot of clients. Okay. And I was a freelancer actually.
Okay.
Then I turned it to agency. When I opened this agency, I really didn't know how an agency website looked like.
Okay.
Then eventually I learned about marketing, design, psychology, and other things. Okay. But I'm always that conversion guy because I was finding the solution for our clients.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's, when you're in the design space, you do still have an eye and a little knowledge of marketing for sure, especially these days because, the design is not just the website alone now. We've got so many social media platforms that require graphical ads. You've got the Facebooks, you've got the Twitter, you got the Instagram. And so you have to kind of have an understanding of design elements and what's going to be attractive and what's going to really drive in those conversions. So that's really the whole.
That is why I like to say design without purpose, that is just like a decoration.
Right.
So we create purposeful design that drive conversion crazy.
Right.
So this is my job.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that slogan. And design without a purpose is just decoration. I love that. Yeah, that's an awesome catchphrase. So a lot of course, your expertise is branding and marketing. So I hadn't really touched too much on branding in any of the podcast episodes. So why don't you just define it for us? Really, what is branding, and is it important for a young e-commerce business to do?
Yeah, for sure. Let me explain what is branding. Branding is the identity of your product, service, or company. Okay, so many people consider branding as the design and look of a company, but that is not true. In a nutshell, branding is who you are and marketing is how you build awareness. Okay. Branding is your strategy while marketing encompasses your tactical goals. Okay. So this is very important for any e-commerce businesses or any internet-based business or any offline business. Branding is the key to success.
Okay. So even right out of the gate, when a business first launches, they need to think about branding, defining who they are in any channels that they're being seen on.
Because that is their guideline for the marketing campaign they will craft. Okay, so if they have not the proper branding strategy, they will eventually fail.
Right.
This is my opinion, actually.
Okay. Gotcha. That totally makes sense because I've seen a lot of cases if a clear branding structure is not defined, especially early on. A business, when they're going out there on these various channels, you could see mixed messaging as far as what it is that they are displaying, how they're displaying themselves, and they could be displaying themselves to try to attract a particular demographic in one platform, but then on another platform it could be a little different. So that really makes sense. If you don't define a branding strategy early on and who you are as a company, then you may not have a consistent message throughout, and that can definitely hurt the business for sure.
This is why branding is the key. Before you dive into any marketing campaign, you should define your branding strategy in place,
right?
So that you can follow that up later on.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because I know I talk to a lot of businesses, every day, that are e-commerce businesses that are young, that are growing, and are looking for ways to get out there. And I think it's really kind of a misunderstanding. A lot of times businesses, when they hear branding, they think, I don't really need to do any branding. I just need to market. I need to promote. I need to get myself out there. And, they're just so focused on driving those sales. When you hear branding, I think businesses typically, they think that's only important for the big guys, the big companies that have big corporate brands. But that's really a misnomer. It's not necessarily the case. Well, definitely it's not the case at all. Every company needs to be concerned about their brand, no matter how large or small.
Yeah, I also noticed that most of the newcomers in e-commerce space, they really don't consider branding as important as marketing. They just want to dive into the marketing section.
Right.
Like, I want to sell this thing right now.
Right.
But they have not a proper, say, messaging style or something like that. So this is why most of the e-commerce businesses are failing right now.
Right. This is true. And it's something you really have to be concerned about, especially these days if you're selling a retail or consumer-based product, because you have the elephant in the room, so to speak, the Amazon that is devouring, everything in its path. So if you don't have something clearly defined across these promotional platforms, then you're going to be kind of lost to the wayside. Now, as far as marketing is concerned, we've established really what branding is, and that every business needs to be concerned about that from day one. What do you think is the most important marketing strategy for a young e-commerce business to focus on?
Okay, before starting any marketing campaign, you have to clearly position your brand with a proper branding strategy. That's what I said. I would say storytelling is the most important marketing strategy for any e-commerce business right now. You have to craft a great story around your product or brand and relate that to the audience.
Right.
This way you will feel them that they are a part of your company.
Right.
And it will really help you, because it will give you more loyal customers who will love to buy from you. Right.
That is for sure. And that's interesting that you said that, because I keep hearing so much about storytelling these days. I did a webinar a couple of months ago in September with a gentleman that used storytelling to really catapult their business. He's actually a Hollywood screenwriter, and him and his wife had started a e-commerce business selling girls' dresses, and he took his knowledge of storytelling and screenwriting to create a viral story and a viral video that really catapulted their business. And he spoke a lot about the importance of storytelling, and it's really critical. And I was actually just watching a show that they have on Entrepreneur Network. It's entrepreneur.com. They have a show where it's an elevator pitch show where they get businesses to do a 1-minute pitch and in front of some investors, and they decide if they want to invest or not. But what they said is, even in that little 1-minute pitch, a story is still critical. If you can squeeze in some initial story into the pitch, it's critical. So that's how you really know it's really important.
Yeah, because people really don't buy products. They buy the emotion or feeling. They buy something from you that they can relate to. Right. So if you will constantly pushing your audience to buy stuff from you, that will no longer work after a few days, I think.
Right, exactly. Because, these days there's so many options, and if you're just approaching people as just a blind company, you're not putting any type of backstory behind it, there's no connection there with the end consumer. So they're going to just move on to the next one. So that's very true.
I would like to give you an example with Nike. As you can see, Nike is doing this from the very beginning.
Right.
They have almost zero sales copy, and they are selling a feeling by providing and showing values to athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And that way they are getting sales from their target audience, right? Who are anyhow sports loving or athletes. They are buying products from Nike. Anything Nike is throwing. As a sports lover, I am also. I want to buy that new Nike sneakers.
Right.
So this Nike is really doing great. So
Right.
I think e-commerce businesses can apply that to their business as well.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see that across all of their ad campaigns. I was thinking of the several campaigns they have with Serena Williams. And if you think of any of those videos or commercials, it's a little mini story. You know, the folk. You see her going through her training. You see her competing, and you kind of get to see who she is. And that's really the focus. Is just the connection there. So. Yeah, you're so right with that. Now, we talked a little bit about marketing, of course, and the branding. Do you recommend that e-commerce businesses create a formal marketing and branding plan? And if so, how exactly should that look?
Okay, from my point of view, the answer is yes. Because without a formal marketing and branding plan in place, you will be distracted and feel lost.
Right.
But I won't recommend you to make a 5 to 10 pages of plan.
Okay.
Rather than that, write the core values and what to do in a period of time or on a single page. You may find some single page template on web,
Right.
So just find on and fill that up with your core values and other things like what to do next, what you want to do in next 90 days or for in next 100 days, like that.
Right,
but
right.
not a proper formal thing,
Yeah.
You have to just write down everything, but you have need a document first.
Exactly. That makes sense. And that really simplifies it, because I think when you see and when businesses hear, the words marketing plan or branding plan, I think it could scare them a little bit. They're like, oh boy, how am I going to do that?
That also scared me.
Yeah.
Actually, I really don't write marketing plan for my agency as well and for my sales business as well. I really like to put what I want to do and what is our core values.
Right.
And I put down on a paper, and that really helps.
Right.
When we follow up later, that really helps.
Right. And I think another thing that you can do that's simpler, that businesses can do is, you can just put down a few goals. Like you said, come up with like a 90-day plan. Like, what are you trying to accomplish in those 90 days? Whether it's obtaining a certain amount of sales from pay-per-click marketing, whether it's getting a certain amount of sales from your social media campaigns, whatever it is, put down those goals and then just review them at the end of the period, whether it's 90 days, 60 days, or, annually or semi-annually, however you do it. So that really makes sense. It doesn't have to be so formalized, really super formalized document, as long as you have something down and have some goals down.
But before that, you have need the clarity, what you want to do, what you will do in next 4 or 5 years, or where you want to be. So what is your mission and vision? That is really very important. Right. Before putting down anything, you need that thing, the clarity.
Yes, for sure. That really defines your overall strategy before you really get out there and get things exposed to potential customers, for sure. So that's really super important. Now, I'm a big advocate of learning from other businesses and other successful e-commerce businesses specifically, because these days everything is really available online. You can see how much companies are spending via pay-per-click marketing. There's so many tools that really can pull the veil, so to speak, from what a lot of companies are doing. Where back
you can see everything, how much your company is spending on their ad average, on average.
Right.
Also, Facebook is showing how much money you are spending on Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So right now, with too many tools, you can find out everything, but that also overwhelms you.
Yes.
Sometimes you are getting a lot of information and you really don't know what to do next.
That is true. There is a fine line. You're right about that. There is a such thing as too much information. It can be information overload. So you really have to Yeah, like you do have to draw the line. You want to try to drill down to, finding those companies that are similar to what you're doing and focus on, what are their strategies like and what do they look like online. Now, as far as from your experience, what are some specifically successful e-commerce businesses that companies can use as a model for success that you've seen?
I'd like to tell you about the Beard brand. That is one of the best beard company who sells beard product. Instead of relying on traditional content marketing, what they did, they really didn't rely on blogging or providing
Okay,
general insights.
and I'm sorry, what was the name of that company? I didn't quite catch that.
The Beard brand.
The Beard
brand. Yeah.
Beard brand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. If you can you spell that out for me? I didn't quite follow.
Yeah, for sure. B for ball, E for elephant, A for apple, R for race, D for digital, B for ball, R for race, A for apple, and for, what can I say?
Okay.
Okay, Nokia, D for develop.
Okay, and so what exactly do they provide?
Okay, they sell beard product like beard oil and other stuffs like
beard
you can
oil.
take care of your beard. Yeah,
I follow you now.
Very manly thing.
Yeah, that's very popular these days because a lot of men wear beards now, and the maintenance of a beard is really, there's a lot to it, and so it's the whole beard industry has exploded for sure.
Actually, I'm a big fan of beard. Less hair, more beard. So that's what I believe in.
Gotcha.
So this is really very interesting to me.
Okay,
I really follow them.
Okay, what successful things have they done as far as something that we can be that would be a good takeaway?
Instead of relying on traditional content marketing like blogging or other stuffs, so they did that thing in a different way. They focused on storytelling again. They focused on storytelling from close emotion and psychological connection with their audience.
Okay.
The brand created a unique storytelling which encouraged their customers to identify them as urban beardsmen and come together as a community. So what they created that helped their audience to make a community around them. I think young e-commerce business can take this inspiration from them and come up with a content marketing strategy for themselves. Like if you are selling sneakers, so you can create a Facebook group about sneakers lovers, or those sneakers lovers can hang on and share their enthusiasm,
Okay, right.
And this will be a community where you can promote your product later.
Gotcha.
And that will be on autopilot.
Right.
So I think from Beard Brand, any e-commerce business can take that inspiration for content marketing so that they can come up with a different content marketing strategy that will work for them.
Right. That is so true. And one of the things that's available, I think this is a recent update. I was interviewing another guest a couple months back as far as social media marketing is concerned. These days, what you can do with Facebook, it's like we said earlier, everything is transparent. But what you can do to see like a history of all a company's ads is if you go to their particular Facebook page, there is an ads and info link or tab where if you click on that, let's say you went to Beard Brand's Facebook page and then click on ads and info, it's going to show you a listing of all of their ads, the history of all of them. And so you can also take a look at those and grab some ideas of how they're doing their Facebook ads, the particular messaging that they're using, the graphics, the videos. And so it's really all out there. And that really makes it convenient to pull up, some of these other businesses that are successful.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as branding and marketing is concerned, what do you think is the most important takeaway that you'd like to impart on our listeners and on as far as what we've discussed today?
Okay, the most important takeaway is when you are starting your e-commerce company, you should first make a great branding strategy and craft every marketing campaign around the core values of your brand. Storytelling and your unique value proposition are the way to stand out in that crowded space. Because right now that is really crowded. So you have to come up with something that will impact on your audience, right? So if you implement them in right way, you won't need to look back.
Right, for sure. That's a great piece of advice, and it's been echoed by so many of the marketing experts these days. It's something that every business needs to be concerned about, is that branding, and straight away from day one, implementing that,
So
and then coming
actually,
up with the story.
some of the branding strategies are really goes hands-on marketing strategies, like this storytelling, unique value proposition. All of these things will apply to your marketing campaign later on. So
Right.
without all of this, you can't really create a great marketing campaign.
Right. And I'm sure that would make a business's job a lot easier, because they've got that established already.
Yeah.
So when they're doing those marketing campaigns, they already know, okay, this is what we've established as our brand. This is our messaging. This is the story we're going to tell, and they're going to keep that consistent throughout, so that
It will also help them to recruit new employees, because they will know about the brand,
right.
what they are working on. So this will help them in future as well.
Sure. Yeah. So their employees won't really be guessing as far as, the type of messaging that they're going to put out there, or even when they're just telling people in, everyday conversations about the business, it's going to be a key, consistent message across what everyone tells others. So yeah, it's for sure. Well, yeah, that's awesome. Well, I really appreciate the info, Ash, that you've provided us. There's some excellent takeaways that I think every business that's listening should be able to take advantage of, for sure. And been doing lately is switching gears a little bit, and I want to ask one final question, just to get to know you a little bit better. What's one thing that our audience would be surprised to know about you?
I think I have already mentioned that from the beginning, that I was a designer like other UX designer, but I have to learn about marketing and branding by helping our clients.
Right.
I'm still learning by doing all of that the thing by helping people, you know. So right now I am working with a Shopify app. That app name is Checkoutify. It will help Shopify merchants to recover lost revenue, and it will also help them to, this will also help them to make their customer to buy from them again.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's awesome. We'll definitely be sure to check out that app, Checkoutify. Yeah, I love that name. Yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely check that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, you're so right. I talked to so many people that they start off in one particular field, like you said, you were a designer, and then you learn so much dealing with these customers. You had the expertise to really
actually nowadays. Sorry for interrupting you. Actually, nowadays everything like design, marketing, branding, everything is connected. Yes. So you can't do only design. You have to know about that marketing and branding stuff. Right. Otherwise, you will make that decoration thing.
Right.
That will not really deliver any value to your clients. That is why this goes hands on hands.
Right. Exactly. Then that goes back to that slogan that I love that you said, which is design without purpose is just decoration, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, great, Ash. Well, it was definitely a pleasure having you on. Now, if our listeners want to get in touch with you, how do they do it?
Email address is most convenient way to contact with me, or they can use the contact form on the website.
Okay.
I am always there.
Okay, that's awesome.
So no salespeople, they will try to sell them our service. No one will do that. So we are here to help you. If you have any questions on branding and marketing, we are here. I'm also here to help you out.
Okay, that's awesome. And then that website address is digitaldevelop.net, which is Ash's website. Everyone can go there, check out what they've got going on. Looks like there's a live chat on there, so you can chat with anybody on there and to get any other questions answered. Okay, great. Well, thanks again, Ash, for joining us today on the eCommerce Marketing Podcast.
Thanks for having me here.
Not a problem. It's been my pleasure. You take care. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you for listening to the eCommerce Marketing Podcast. Do you need to get more feedback and reviews from your customers and improve your customer retention? We have made it easy to do all of this with our advanced customer feedback software. Just visit getosi.com/feedback and sign up for a free trial today. That's getosi.com/feedback.